Hey guys, greetings. Thanks for joining me, everyone. This is a mid-month quick draw speed read. So I have sort of set this out for you to have a quick look at here. This is the order in which they will be done. We are going to use 2 decks, probably 2 cards for each sign, for each astrological sign, because they're all included here on the list in this order, starting with Taurus. Probably 2 cards from the same deck each. So what I'm going to do is shuffle first for you all. So I have just been doing a little bit of shuffling in advance, but this is for the list that we see in front of us. And this is very sort of free flow. There's no real set agenda. It will be however is meant to turn up and whatever is meant to turn up for each of the signs. So I was thinking of 2 cards for each sign and probably 2 cards from the same deck. And the reason I decided to use 2 decks was that allows us to at least be enabled for the same card to turn up if it wants to for different signs. Because quite often you'll see certain cards turn up in a month, just the way the month is playing out, the energies around the planet, collective conscious energies, that type of thing. So just a bit more shuffling. So this is for the 12 astrological signs. It's called a quick draw speed read, just to give you an update in the middle of the month, pick up a little bit more information about what's out there, what may have changed direction, or what is amping up as the month goes on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is move the piece of paper out of the way. You guys have seen the order that it's in now, and I will just move it to the side so that I can keep an eye on it. So the first reading we are doing is for Taurus, and I'm going to select from this deck first for Taurus. So let us see what comes out first. Oh, lucky, lucky, lucky. The Magician. Okay, so Major Arcana, very magical card, could indicate a magical time for you guys, could indicate a new opening, a new venture, new ideas, or new energy flowing into your life. And this can represent any area that we're talking about, because the Magician is represented with all of the different variety of signs, including the cups, the pentacles, the swords, and the wands. And he is holding up sort of like a baton above it, as if to say, you choose where you want the magic to be in your life, in which area of your life. He also has the number 8 infinity sign above his head, which symbolizes often karmic type issues, so that these could be events that are karmically related. So it could be new events coming in for you that are karmically related. This can mean new soulmates turning up, sometimes romantically, other times business-wise, other times family-related as well. I think the Magician is one of the best cards in the deck. It also represents number 1, so the number 1 may be of important value to you as well. The bright colour yellow in the background could be very important to think about. So yellow is about freedom, breaking free, intellectual, the brain, thoughts, ideas, concepts, you know, producing something from your mind and bringing it into this reality. So if any of you have got ideas that you're wanting to work on right about now in the middle of April, start pushing through with those, because they may turn into a more grounded, specific event, or, you know, a cycle. What's the second card you guys have got? Wow, another really big one. So the Judgment card. A little bit different looking, but it's still 2 major arcanas for you guys, Taurus. And of course, we are moving into your birthday energy very soon, which doesn't surprise me then that these 2 big major arcanas have come up for this quick draw speed read. The Judgment card, you know, even though they're kind of at different ends of the major arcanas, it's like this guy here, he's given the opportunity to open up a door to alchemy, to create magic, to create new beginnings. This one almost feels as though he needs to come before it to suggest that he has these people or yourself suddenly become aware of the fact that you need to bring the magic into your life. You need to open up something new. You need to try a new avenue. This is basically what the Judgment card is. So it's like an epiphany from the skies. Some of you may hear something, whether it be through a conversation that you have with someone else, or whether you read something that leads you in this new direction. These can be in your career, it could be your personal life, it can be your belief systems, it can be an awakening to like spiritual aliveness or connectedness. It can be at a crossroads in life, not just like the Hanged Man as well, talking to us about the fact that we have this sudden awakening and understanding that we are making changes, we are going in a new direction because we need to. Something is fundamentally not working right, it has ceased to flow, there's a lack of connection from one part of something to another. You might feel like it's stuck. It's like going on a road trip in your car and you're driving down the road and then you suddenly run out of petrol, or you get a flat tire and you didn't have a spare tire in the back, and you go, oh, so here we are stuck in the middle, and why, and how do we get out of here? And that's what the Judgment card is like. So Taurus, for you guys, for your two cards that you've received, really big messages, possibly big personal feelings coming in from behind, personal changes. Sometimes this can very much relate to health issues for some of you. It could be telling you that a health regime needs to be uplifted, or you need to change direction, or that your health is literally going to take a turn for the better. Do think of your head, your ears, because some of you may get headaches, earaches, or tingling in the ears, or tinnitus. Not being able to hear properly is another thing too. So there we go. Taurus, big cards. Happy birthday for you guys as it rolls into the Taurus season. So who is next on our list is actually Gemini, and I'll put these cards over here. This is it's a process of evolution as we're doing the reading. So Gemini, you're getting this deck at the top. Your first card, another major arcana. You know, it feels as though maybe the middle of April, when we're doing this reading, is quite intense. There might be a lot of activation going on. If you've been watching the readings that I put up for the April month itself, it is a busy month. It is a very full-on energetic month, especially in terms of the planets that are moving around too, and the cosmos. And even here on Earth, we kind of feel it within people at the moment. So Gemini, the Justice card, this can represent a Libra person in your life. So possibly someone around you who is Libran, either their sun sign or a moon or rising sign. It can indicate that you might have been having an issue with them, or that something has been going on. But when the Justice card turns up in your reading, it's usually favorable for you. For a lot of people, this is about bringing balance into a situation, especially if there has been an argument or something that's not quite right, even a feeling of, you know, disharmony or aggression or lack of flow. And it could be in several different areas, but it does often represent our relationships in life. So it can also be pertaining to, if there is a court case or something going on, you may get notification to turn up to a court hearing, or if you have been going through a legal process, this could be propelling its way through and movement could occur. It can also represent divorces, family court hearings, any fines that you have, or any reason that any of you have to go into mediation, litigation, or legal processes or documentation. Sometimes this can even represent mortgages and things being drawn up. So the fine print of the Justice card is generally it weighs in your favour. So as I say, if you have some sort of legal thing going on, it should pay out or weigh out in your favour. There may still be some communication that is taking place, or some extra work to be added from your end to make it so that it flows well. Second card, the Five of Wands, and I think the Five of Wands is telling us that, I think it is connected to the Justice, that there is still, oh, well, she just fell on the floor, that there is still work to be done around this Justice for you and around any documentation or legal stuff. The 5 can represent 5 people. It can also represent 5 days, weeks, months. It often says there's temporary, like, temper, like fighting or a slight aggression. It's not really maleficent, it's not dangerous, but it's agitated type of energy. It can also mean that there is competition, especially in terms of careers or jobs, because these are the wands and they often represent our career and our inspirational activities. So if we're not in a working position in life, this is your hobbies or your passions. 5 can indicate if you were applying for something, there could be competition. Even though the Justice card tends to meld that out in our favour, you have to put your best foot forward. You have to represent yourself well, definitely supply all the information you can. This can also mean if you are interested in other people, even romantically, there could be other competition for you that you have to become on top of. So there will be other people around you vying for the same contentions, and this could be in your career or in a romantic situation or even in and around friendship circles. So Gemini, great start with the Justice card, but I think the 5 of Wands gives us a little bit more of a sedate feeling, and it keeps us on our toes and tells us to maintain action and to strive for the best. So Gemini. So the next one is Cancer, and we will come down here to this deck again. Oop, that's the Hermit card for Cancer. Kind of like, I think it matches Cancer feeling oftentimes, because I feel Cancers can go within and be, you know, more quiet and resolute and resourceful and thinking about things. And this is, of course, the message of the Hermit. So again, he's a major arcana. Everyone so far has had at least one major arcana. He talks about finding illumination of the mind, or clarifying thoughts and the mind. So if something has been going on with you in regards to trying to get a clearer picture around something, whether it be a project or a direction or a relationship or an idea or your personal feelings, even if it's something like anxiety and depression or feeling tense, this card can sometimes represent that. So he goes within, which is what I said before, to find the solutions to whatever it is that's on his mind at the moment. Sometimes this can represent if you've been feeling a bit burnt out, or you have been overworked, or something is not flowing that well for you and you've just felt like the universe isn't paying it forward, or it's not rolling at the moment. These are the times that you take off, you go into retreat, you source yourself into a place of quiet, resolute manner. You make a list, you ponder your options, you make some strategies, you connect with your higher self, you connect with the cosmos, with source energies, and you ask for answers to be given. So the Hermit can often find these answers through connection to his greater self and the cosmos. So remember to do that for anything that's on your mind and any questions that are, or issues, health issues, especially emotional and mental health issues that are plaguing you or bothering you at the moment. Your second card. Oh, nice. It's the Eight of Pentacles. Now, this one, quite different in real terms, even when we look at the card, although they still have kind of a greyish palette to them. This one is much brighter. We've still got quite a lot of blobs of yellow coming through, as if they're like electrical currents. So the Eight of Pentacles is about pentacles, and it's about someone who applies themselves diligently, slowly and steadily, and doesn't give up, which is kind of what I was suggesting with the Hermit. Just take it one step at a time, apply your logic, find your greater resources, you know, going within, take some time out, rejuvenate. Now this card can represent something in the base chakra area of the body, sort of round about here. It can represent a block, and sometimes this can be with your finances or your home life or your house itself, the physical presence of your house. It can also reference feeling anxious and in a bit of fear, which again is why maybe the Hermit is saying to take some deep breaths, find some quiet time, find some peaceful activities, re-energize your body, starting from the physical and working up through to the mental. He is fundamentally a good sign in terms of money. It is slowly building. You, especially too, if you are in your career stage of life, this is a good card for suggesting that you are working your way through systems, positions. You are a diligent, honest worker. Some of you may be working with your hands, such as creative work, whether it be painting, sculpting, designing. Yeah, designing, and I'm thinking clothes for some of you, like fabrics. And this may be coming to like a growth spurt, or maybe coming to a point where it is acknowledged or it goes on to another stage somehow. And the Hermit may pay homage to some of this, that he may get another jump in his ideas or his creativity or his surge of energy levels to help represent the growth and stability of this side of everything. But overall, it's quite favourable. It plays well. Just watch your physical base chakra area, and for some of you, backache might be a thing, or bowels, kidneys, colon, something along those lines may need attention. So that is Cancer. So we're now on to Leo, and Leo are having the other deck. So Leo, oh, well, the Ten of Swords. It's always a bit of a difficult one to have to face, especially full on like that. But we know that the tens are about the endings of cycles. So the best thing about this card is that you will be getting up from this agonizing look. Oftentimes the Ten of Swords in its basic representation in the tarot deck says you will feel as if you have been blindsided by something or someone, and you feel like you've been backstabbed and you didn't really see it coming. So traditionally it's a feeling of being let down. Sometimes it can be confrontational, as if you experience something with someone, whether it be friends or work people or a group of people, possibly even 10 of them, and something goes wrong, as if they aren't listening to you, or they reject a plan or an idea or a concept, and you go, wow, well, how did this happen? I thought I was on the right path. It can also represent feeling very drained and very tired, needing a rest, and especially pain through that back and thorax area of the body as well. But more than anything, it does represent that you are moving into some sort of new cycle, and often whatever it is that caused this dissipates from your life, so you leave it altogether. And again, this can be friendships, it can be something like a health issue that you may have had that could be abating, and you know, you might have come to nearly the end of it, but it could have been debilitating. It may have been something that has been going on for a long time. We could be talking 10 years here. And it's left you feeling, I just don't know if I can take another step. But you do. You do get up from this and you head in a new direction. And often whatever these are, they get left behind. Let's see what your next card is. Oh, yay. Well, that's matching everyone else's major arcana anyhow. So the Wheel of Fortune doesn't come out that often. And it's definitely, you've got two 10s, because that's a 10 and that's a 10. So the 10 may be very representative for you of something. And actually today is the 10th of April here in New Zealand. So another 10 for you guys. The Wheel of Fortune does represent, in general, a big changes are coming. It's a big card. So something in your life is turning the wheel of evolution, and it can be slow to happen. And as I say, it may have even been a 10-year cycle that is now shifting its wheel, slowly turning you into this new direction. I always think when this card turns up, it's very profound, and it gives us impetus to pick ourselves up, especially if we need to move forward. So the Wheel of Fortune, it's like a big ocean liner or cruise ship. It's difficult to steer it, and it doesn't happen immediately. Like if you try to reverse an ocean liner and turn it 180 degrees, it could take hours to do that. So literally the Wheel of Fortune is a slow turning change of events coming, but often brings better luck or good luck or positivity. And again, in many different areas of your life. It could be relationships, it could be career, it could be health, it could be finances. It can represent things like moving countries, moving state, changing a career completely, a brand new unexpected relationship coming into your life, a different perspective on life than what you used to have as well. So fairly big for you guys for Leo. Okay, so Aries, down to this pile here. Oh, goodness. The 8 of Swords. So it represents feeling tied up, stuck, bound, not being able to see, feeling anxious in particular. But again, the reality of this card is there is a way out. If she took her blindfold off, she could see that there's nothing actually stopping her. It's her own inner thoughts or lack of forethoughts or lack of future ideas or lack of planning that has often led her to this position. So this is about taking control again. Now, often this card will represent anxiety or feelings of anxiousness, depression or sadness, the postpartum baby blues, even something like that. If there's something along those lines happening that you do need medical attention for, or you need intervention from someone like a counsellor or a psychotherapist or a doctor, then you should go and get some as well, Aries. Don't just sit there doing nothing. I think that's the biggest message of the card. Take action to relieve whatever the problem is. So whether your action is taking the blindfold off and becoming more logical and putting fear behind yourself and taking a step forward, or whether your action is seeing someone to help you get through a certain problem, then that's what you should be doing as well. This is temporary. There is a way out. You are not stuck. You just need to have some faith and to re-energize that Arian strength and fight and tenacity to push yourself forward. If you're not feeling in this mood with this card, then the 8 could be representative of something, and it might represent communication with people one way or another, and you might feel as though there is some communication that is stuck or is causing tension or problems for you. Let's see what your next card is, Aries. Oh, one of my least favorite of all, and you've got the 7 and the 8 together. And I'm an Aries, so I'm sitting here thinking, what's this all about? So the 7 of Swords is usually someone else, but there's 2 sides to this card, so we'd better play out the whole scenario. This is either, again, I will reiterate, it's either you making yourself or feeling anxious or depressed or cut off or upset or tied down or locked in because of something you are doing or an action you are undertaking that is not right for you. It must be disconnecting you with your integrity values if that is the case. So you need to go back to find out where your alignment has gone wrong with a decision you have made or an action you have taken or something you are planning or a move you are making. So if you are feeling this because of some things that are going on in your life that you have control over, that's what I said before, you need to take all this action. Yeah, so you try to find the realignment with your integrity values and know that you must be in line with what your soul is calling for you and how you behave and what you do. Then this drops off and you find your way out quite quickly. If, however, this is someone else, which is often how I feel the representation is, there is someone around you who is not doing you a service and they are perhaps creating this feeling here of being tied up, of being locked down, unable to move. Now again, this situation could be anything, such as a personal relationship, it could be a business commitment you have made, it could be a legal commitment or dealings that are going on, it could be a fraudulent thing that is bothering you or that is about to happen. It could be a personal relationship scenario that is occurring. But the 7 of Swords is in particular an unpleasant character. He often turns up when there are fraudulent activities going on, when there could be a burglary or a physical abuse or assault take place. So when he's around, be cautious of your dealings and who you are dealing with and what you are handing out. If this person is someone that you have in your life close to you that you think you trust, you can't, and it might be wise to think twice about him or her or they or them and move them on. Yeah, they're not very nice, those 2 cards together. They're probably 2 of the, well, what can I say? This is the quick draw mid-month. So I think it's a warning for you guys to take heed of the things that have been said anyhow. Okay, so we move on and we come to Capricorn and we go back up here to these cards. The Queen of Swords. So often this is an air sign person around you who might be taking up your time or energy, or who is taking a role in your life one way or another. Now, she could represent a family member or she could represent a friend or a romantic partner for some of you. She also has the tenacity to represent legal communication, so she can be a lawyer or an accountant or a tax person or a bank manager, someone along those lines. She seems to be the first card off the rank, so she seems to be playing a relatively important role one way or another. So communication with her around about right now seems quite pivotal. She can be quite demanding in many ways, or very sure of what she wants one way or another. So I have a feeling that if you are having any dealings with her, you have to be doing it right. So if she's a lawyer or a loan person or an accountant, she will want the right information. She will want to access the figures, the percentages, the financial records, things along those lines. If she's a friend or a family member, again, she might be quite assertive. It feels to me as if she's standing up, wanting to be heard. She's wanting to say something that you need to listen to one way or another. It can sometimes, of course, represent yourself acting in this way, so acting in a firm way where communication is part of what you want to be getting across to people. And if you are communicating, you could be doing it in a manner where it's semi-legal or where there are semi-official things that are being said or talked about or documented. The other thing with the Queen of Swords, she often represents a sort of single woman of middle age as well. So this woman could be playing a role in your life. So let's see what your second card is for Capricorn. Lovely. So you got the same as Taurus, the Magician. So perhaps this Queen of Swords is helping to create some sort of magic in your life. With the Magician is a powerful card. It's a very wonderful card when it turns up. It offers amazing possibilities at very unseen levels, if you like, because it's the alchemist. So it's like having something in your hand, like some dust, and you have the ability to alchemize it into gold or into a solid metal. So oftentimes the Magician is hard to see where the magic is coming from. You have to do what I call research, or you have to be ready for it, or you have to do some work to get the magic occurring. So it's not that it walks past with a sign on. It's a hidden stuff that you have to look for, that you will find the magic in. And I probably didn't clarify that enough with Taurus at the very beginning. But this number 8 up here too is about soul cycles. It can be about soulmates. It can be about cyclical events coming and going, or cyclical opportunities about to jump into your life. And it can be in any avenue. The pentacles, the swords, the wands, or the cups. So it can represent any dynamic of life. And as I say, you have to do the searching to find out where this magic is, and you have to put the work in and turn it into this alchemic process. So whilst it's one of the most beautiful cards in the deck and one of the most powerful, you've got to know how to utilize it. So you have to do some of your logical Capricorn thinking to kick it into action. But I have a feeling that the Queen of Swords is somehow tied up into it. So there we are, Capricorn. That's your message. We move on now to Aquarius, and we come to this deck for Aquarius. So what are you guys going to get? The Nine of Pentacles. Well, traditionally its meaning is happiness, feeling satisfied, feeling as though finances are doing well, so money feels buoyant. There's as if there's satisfaction around your money, such as finances or how you earn your money, how it comes into your home, even how you spend it, because sometimes this Nine of Pentacles means spending money. She is dressed in finery and she's in a garden with this bird on her hand. I'm not sure what the bird is, but she almost feels as though she's attending some sort of event or hosting an event, because quite often this happens when she's around. So she's very graceful, she's a wonderful hostess or host. She enjoys the finer things of life, she loves a bit of money, she loves dining and wining and dining and, you know, just enjoying life. The yellow is very bold in this card, which represents freedom, it represents intellectuality, the mind, new awareness, feeling happy, being outdoors, and the sun. So there's really nothing wrong with this card in any way. It's usually always a positive. There could even be a slight bonus or boost to your finances. As I say, oftentimes social events or gatherings will be occurring when this card comes out. Dining, enjoying the pleasures of life. So let's see what your second one is, Aquarius. A little bit opposite when we look at the colour palette and the emotional feelings in the card. She's so happy and content and satisfied and sunny, and she's so tight, uptight, rigid, can't see, day, night. Yeah, well, the Two of Swords is all about choices, and it represents sitting there pondering, do I take A or B? Do I go left or right? The Swords is about the mind, and it is about thinking, and it's also about communication. So she has something on her mind that she is unable to come to a conclusion about. Often this can tell us we're procrastinating about something, or that the choices we have to make, we just haven't done enough research into them. So if they seem polar opposites, so to me it seems as though two different aspects of your life are occurring, as if there's this really good, positive, buoyant, happy social side, but then there's this one. They don't feel connected at all. It's like they're different issues. So this issue needs more research, it needs you to do more homework, sit down, make a list, contemplate what could happen if you took option A, contemplate what will happen if you take option B. Don't stress about it, use some logic, although the intuition, which is connected to the moon and the night, and not being able to see clearly, it is also telling you to connect intuitively, but put some logical strategies behind it. So when you begin to apply all of those things, this choice that you have to make might become clearer, and you might not feel so anxious about it or so frustrated or unknowing. But it's definitely about looking more into it and making a bigger picture for you to see, because these swords need to come down to the horizontal level so that you've got this more information. So ponder that, Aquarius, something that you have to think about. So Pisces, we are coming to this deck for you. Oh wow, the 10 of Cups. It is a beautiful card. It's also the third number 10 we've had out, at least I think. No, the fourth. So the 10 of Cups represents happiness, joyfulness, harmony, good, solid, sturdy, committed relationships that bolster each other up. So often a partnership with one other person, whether this is in a business or a romantic relationship or a bold and sturdy and loving friendship. It can be business partnerships, but it's all about prosperity, emotional buoyancy, happiness, good health. You know, when people pick up a glass and they say cheers to celebrate something, or cheers, good luck everyone, this is exactly what this card is. This is like saying cheers to you all and good luck, good health, good money, good love, good wealth, good prosperity, everything. The 10s do represent the end of a cycle, so it could say that this has been going on for some time, or that this person you know or partnership is been around for a while and that the bond could be growing stronger, or that you have learned a lot from it and you have developed emotionally. There's many different aspects as well to it. Let's see what your second card is, Pisces. The Eight of Wands. This is a lovely card in as much that we're still, look at us, outdoors in the blue sky, kind of like summery weather or spring weather. It's a gorgeous outdoor feeling, as if you guys are being invigorated to the outdoor energy, because we see this beautiful rainbow here as well. The 8 represents movement, fast-paced action. It can represent air flight, so going on a holiday. Perhaps you're going on a holiday with this person that you love, going somewhere special. It can represent a big trip, such as overseas, or even something smaller. It can represent businesses or to do with your career, applying for jobs, attending interviews. Also having people come into your life quickly, like new friends, new neighbours, new business cohorts, new lovers as well. So yeah, you've got two great cards. They could be very connected, but they might be a little bit different. This one could be, for some of you, new romantic partnerships. Even though this one suggests that there's a romantic partnership there, that doesn't have to be. It might be a parent-child relationship. It might be siblings. It might be best friends, as I said earlier. But they do represent love, both cards, and they represent good times and happy energies. So really nice, Pisces. That's your two cards for the quick draw reading. So Libra, we come down here to this deck for you guys, and you have the 7 of Cups. So the 7 of Cups represents choices, and sort of saying that there could possibly be a lot of choices around for you at the moment. And again, these could be any area of life. So you could find them very tempestuous and, you know, like taking up your mind, like, what do I pick? How do I make my decision? Which is the best one? Well, look at this. This is beautiful, and oh, this is amazing, but what's behind here? And what about this one? Oh my goodness. So you get this feeling of choice, 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 decision, 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 and feeling as if you are clouded, because of course they're sitting on a cloud. So sometimes there's a lack of clarity when this card turns up, and that you need to take your time and make a sincere and honest focus on all these choices that are coming your way. But the good thing in life is when we are presented with choices, it means a lot is happening. It means we're on the road of action, movement, forward growth, learning, awareness. A whole bunch of good things are around when we have the choices. But this card, first and foremost, tells you to make careful, wise decisions. So what's your second card? The 5 of Swords. Yeah, it's kind of about a little bit of argy-bargy energy. Both of these have a bit of roughness combined with them. This guy here, which is usually considered yourself in a reading, holding the 3 swords, has won a battle. He has won something, and he's jolly happy about it. And these two here are downtrodden, and they are walking off. They have turned their back on him. They are leaving. And this card, oddly enough, even though it's a 5, which is kind of in the middle of a cycle of anything, these two will leave for good sometimes, and you may not see them again ever, or for many, many years. So think twice about how you want to deal with this situation. Now it gets to this because we're having a debate about something. We often have a different point of view. We don't like what they're saying. We don't want to listen to them. We want to be heard. And so we're downright, you know, bolshy about it. And we go, look, just shut up and listen, because here's what I think. And they go, sure, yep, tell us. Fine, okay, see you. And off they go. So the card, more than anything, says think twice about what you say, how you say it. Do you need to argue? Some things are better left unsaid and let to go. So pick your battles, and yeah, be careful of the way you want to do it, really. But on the other hand, if you feel that you really need to, because your morals are at stake or your own integrity values, that these people may not have been treating you fairly, then it has to be done. So it's a card of choices, and so is this one. So it feels to me as though you guys, Librans, have a lot of choice at the moment going on around you. Choice of decisions, both here and here. Choice of actions, both here and here. So yeah, kind of something to ponder about. Scorpio, for you guys, we come up to this deck. Wow, we have just had this card out for Libra. So it has turned up again, and we've had a few sevens come out in the reading. We had the Seven of Swords earlier for Aries as well. The sevens can mean sort of duplicity or duality or hidden agenda type stuff. So I've just finished telling Libra, this means choices, and it means that you need to be cautious about how you make your choices and which one to select. The good thing about the card is it often means lots is going on in life and that there's plenty of stuff happening. So then that's always exciting. It's a time of movement, awareness, activation, growth, choices. So it's just telling you to be careful about how you decide to make the choice. Oftentimes it tells you to do more homework and have due diligence when you are making this choice, because it can be in any area of life. It can be in your finances, in your romances, in your personal relationships, in career, in your health as well. So your second card, well, another Cups card. This one's a wee bit more pleasing to deal with in real terms. So emotions might be on your mind, Scorpios, and people and relationships. So these ones here, they could be choices about relationships or feelings or things that you connect with at the heart level. The three cups, these three girls are known as sort of the sisterhood of life. Some of you might be pondering, do you have a choice to make about one of your friends? Is there something that you're trying to make a decision with? Either do you include them all, or are you picking one out? Is it choices about something that involves one of these girls? It doesn't have to be girls, it's friendships, so it can also be male friendships. But is there some sort of decision or choice that you're having to make around some of these people in your life? And if it is, just look for more information, do your due diligence and do your homework really well. But coming back to this, often represents a wonderful time of reconnecting, social outings, catching up with people you may not have seen for a long time, going to things like school reunions, weddings, being a bridesmaid possibly, 21sts, christenings, community events, but oftentimes great fun, laughter, enjoyment, support, nurture, happiness, lots of those feelings that you find with friends. Some of you may find that you just have some very good support around you, especially if you need it at this time. Don't forget to call on friends, and some of you may hear from friends that you haven't heard from or seen them in a long time. This might be quite unexpected too. So Scorpio, that's your reading. Let's come to Sagittarius, and what do we have for you guys? Oh, lovely, the sun. And I always think of Sagittarius as the sun anyhow. So it's like the sun is shining on something for you. This card is opportunity at its best. It's like saying There's creativity in the air, there's fertility, there's conception of ideas, there's happiness, there's joyfulness, there's childlike emotions, there's love, there's romance. So each of you will feel this at a different level, but this can be very good for your overall health. It can be saying that health-wise is a dawn awakening, especially if you've been through a bad health period. There's new ideas floating in the stratosphere or the cosmos for you to pick up on. There's new love, possibly, if you're looking for it. There's maybe a change to your family. There can be a birth of a baby or new people coming into your family, such as extended families. And oftentimes children are involved one way or another. And so when I say children, that can take you up to the age of, you know, into the mid-teens even. Travel is definitely a possibility as well with the sun. Definitely fertility of ideas, or also pregnancies for those of you looking. And I see the horse. I wonder if some of you have a horse somewhere going on in this as well. So it's a beautiful card. You can just take all the positivity out of it that it's offering. Wow. And the Lovers. You guys, you just got two of the most loved cards in the deck. Oh, I want to be a Sagittarius now. And I'm not, I can tell you. Oh, well, you know, there's the sun back again. So you're re-emphasized energy on the sun. So get that sun's energy into your body. Will be really empowering, energetic for you, help creativity, help surges of energy, help everything. So if any of you are low on vitamin D, go and take some as well. And do spend some time outdoors. There's very much a beautiful outdoor feeling coming through these cards. Whether some of you are traveling and spending time outdoors and just igniting yourself with the passion of life, quite frankly. The Lovers can represent, as I said, new love. We talked about that over here. Sometimes these two get together and they produce this. So the child, the fertility, the conception, romance, sensuality, sexuality, choices. The Lovers is about making choices sometimes. Sometimes we have so much opportunity in life, we have to make a decision and a choice. And this can be around your partners, like, do I stay? Do I dally around with someone new? Do I re-harness a previous existing relationship and make it more bold and more beautiful, and furnish it with the sun's energies and bring back conception and harmony and love? So that's a possibility for some of you who have had a troublesome time in a relationship. It can be healed right now. This is also talking about soulmates. So if you are about to find a new relationship, this could be a very special one, a very deep and meaningful one. Sometimes the Lovers talks to us about business opportunities and that they can be going very favorably as well. So if you are planning some sort of new business or ideas or concepts, both of these cards would bode extremely, extremely well. I mean, I probably don't need to say too much more because, well, hey, I think you guys just aced it. You got probably the best two out of the whole deck, and we're literally on to Virgo now, so we'll see what theirs is, but yeah, enjoy that. Look at that energy. That is fabulous. Okay, so Virgo, back up at this deck. The Eight of Pentacles, and he's been out before and with someone, I forget now who it was, but this is overall a good, steady, solid, grounded card like yourselves. It's your energy in action. So it can be harnessing your grounded practicality for doing things methodically and getting from A to B and making it grow and turn into Z, you know, from right through the alphabet, because that's what he's doing by his determination, hard work, ethics and ability. So this generally bodes well for your career or your financial situation as well. So it says keep going, working with your hands is a possibility for some of you. Your efforts and knowledge and awareness and understanding are all beginning to pay dividends if they haven't already. So sometimes we can see a little bit of extra money coming in when this is going on, or some sort of extra build up or balance or additive to your business or your career realm as well. I do sometimes think that there's sometimes a blockage in or around the base chakra when this card turns up, so there may be a need for clearing that. Some of you may have back pain, hip, thigh or leg pain, or problems with things like your bowel or irritable bowel syndrome or appendix, things like that, that may need looking at. The last card for the whole reading, and this one has been out before as well. So in fact, overall throughout the 12 readings, we have seen a duplication of many cards, which I do find quite interesting, but that tells us that that's the general energy that's, you know, maneuvering itself around the planet. That's kind of collective conscious energies that are working. So I think it's a really good way to use two decks, and you get this affirmation that what's happening is out there, and that's why the cards are duplicating themselves. But this one here is representing choices and pondering which way to go. Do you know, I'm wondering, it would be bizarre, but I'm going to go back, but it must be in this deck. That was rather foolish of me, but it was very similar. The 9 of Pentacles and the 2 of Swords was for Aquarius, I believe, and you got the 8 of Pentacles and the 2 of Swords, very similar. But the 2 of Swords represents choices and feeling as though you can't necessarily make the decision. So we see the moon up here, so it does talk to us about using our... Sorry guys, my camera actually just stopped working. I've run the battery out, so I think that's the message for the reading to come to an end. But Virgo, just coming back to your 2 of Swords there, it is very much about taking the time to try and make this decision about an impasse that you're at, or a certain important direction that you need to think about heading on. So sometimes intuitive awareness is played into with this card, but also using logic as well. So it's a really good time to sit down and write up reasons for doing something and reasons for not doing them. Usually these will weigh out one way or another, and when you write them down, it makes it easier to fundamentally figure out which is the best option for you to take. So rather than fence sitting, or you know, being in a position of feeling stuck or not at ease with a decision, the more information we feed it, the more in-depth homework we do or research we do around a topic, the easier a decision becomes. And often an informed decision using logic and intelligence applied with some intuitive feeling is the best way to work through it. So it's a very temporary when the 2 of Swords turns up, but it can be quite important because it is taking you in a set direction one way or another. So it feels as though it could even be associated with your finances or career or job opportunities as well, since it's turned up with this one. So perhaps some of you have got these type of decisions to make in the close future, or there's something upon you right now. Now, it doesn't have to be associated with your career. It could be about your money or how you choose to invest it, spend it, or earn it, but it could also be about other things in your life, including relationships that are around, or issues to do with relationships, like feelings or emotions, or communication you may have been having with someone in a relationship, and you're debating, how do I go about dealing with this? Do I deal with it this way or that way? Or do I say this to them or say that? So lots of different applications or ideas can come up when this card is around, but it'll be up to you guys to decide which one is meaning the most to you at the moment. But I do think it bodes well to do something about the Two of Swords, to take some action and to do some more homework and look into things so you can make an informed decision about your choices. So there we are, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me for this April mid-month quick draw speed read. Oh wow, and we're done. So have a wonderful mid-month, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Much love. Namaste.